Hello, grade 12. We're now moving on to activity 6.4.2 on page 143. You're going to open the word competition from the folder, and what's going to happen is that this is a competition where learners are going to guess 3 words. They're going to write in 3 words, and then we're going to award points as follows. Each letter per letter will be 1 point. If it's a palindrome, if the word is a palindrome, and plus 2 additional points will be added to that. And there's going to be a prize if the learner scores 20 points and more. So we're going to follow the instructions, do the following. Write a procedure called palindrome that's going to accept a word and determine whether the word is a palindrome or not, and display the word if it is a palindrome. So this is what the procedure will do. Now this is a procedure with parameters. So remember, you're going to write procedures now with parameters. So we're going to go and write our procedure palindrome, and in brackets you're going to put in any variable you want, S word, whatever you want to call it, colon string. That is how you write a procedure header with parameters. So this S word is coming into this procedure, and then we're going to perform an operation on it. So we highlight the procedure header, Ctrl-Shift-C. Now we are going to be working with this string that's coming in here, and we've got to find out if that word is a palindrome or not. And if it is, we will display that into where are we going to display it? Well, we can display it in what's the name? Not the rich edit. We're going to display it in a show message component. Okay, just for now. So, how do we go and see if a word is a palindrome? Well, we use a for loop, go through each character and build a string in reverse, and then see if the reversed string is equal to the original string. So this is my S line. Let's call it S reverse, just so that you can get that here. So we're going to say for K, so we're going to start from K equals the length of the string we want to check, and the string that we want to check is the one that's coming into this procedure, S word, the length of S word down to 1, do. Then we say S reverse equals S reverse plus the character number K of the string S word. Now before we start, we actually should go and initialize S reverse to an empty string. Now we ask the question, if S reverse equals S word, then show message palindrome, else with the L, show message not a palindrome. Now, yeah, that's what they want us to do. Determine whether it's a parent. Display the word. Oh, we're going to display the word. Okay, I must display the word. So let me display the word. So we're going to display the word in the rich edit. Silly, silly, silly. If it's not a palindrome, then we will not display anything, and we'll display it over there in RED display. RED display dot lines dot add S word, not S reverse, S word, the string that's coming in here. Right. Always remember, this is going to be used as a local variable inside this procedure. Whatever's in parameters, you use it like it was a local variable inside the parameter, inside the procedure. So yes, it's inside the parameter list, but we're going to use it as a variable inside here. An S word can only be used inside this procedure here. That word there can only be used in here, nowhere else. Okay, now we're going to move on to the next instruction. Write a procedure, award points that's going to accept a palindromic word and determine the points awarded to the word. The points are added to the variable r total points. So there's going to be a variable called r total points somewhere, and we're going to make a variable r total points as a global variable. Let's see if this works. Okay, we know it's going to be initialized to 0 because it's a global counter or a global totaling variable. We should actually initialize it to 0 if we're going to use it as a global variable. Fine, we'll go and do that. On activate r total points equals 0, even though global variables are initialized to 0 anyway. Integers, global integers are initialized to 0. We don't have to worry about what's going to happen next. We're going to write our procedure, award points. It's going to be just the word, this is the world that we're living in right now, award points. We're going to write that. It's going to accept a word, and we're going to count the points and then add it to an integer called r total points, which are made global. So how do we award points? 1 point per letter plus additional 2 points. So that should be easy. We're going to count how many letters there are and add the number 2 to that. So in our procedure that we're going to write, procedure, what is it called? Award points. Procedure award points. Now that's going to receive a string. Okay, I'm going to call it S palin, for want of a better word, just to show you can use any word that you want there when you write your header. So procedure award points, I'm just going to put any word I want here, colon string, highlight it, receiving a string, Control Shift C. Now we're going to take S palin and use the length of that and add it to r total points. Where's r total points? I've made that. Sorry, the mic dropped. Okay, so here we go. We have our procedure award points, and it's got a string coming into it. We've implemented it. So we're in the implementation section. See? And our global variable r total points, we're going to now add, that's an integer global variable, we're going to say it's the previous r total points plus whatever the length of that word is, because it's 1 point per character, and we know the length returns an integer, and then they say add another 2 points. So the length is an integer, and we add another 2 points there. Okay. Right, so that will just update our global totaling variable. Next thing. Right, let's see how this is going to be put together. It'll be interesting. Write code for the on-click event. Right, on-click. Let's go find our on-click event, which is results.txt. Read 3 words from the edit box and store the words in an array called ARR words. Right, now AR words, is that going to be global or not? That's the question. Well, I will make it global, and we can always change it that way. So we're going to AR words colon array square brackets 1 to 3 of string. Okay, so we'll store our 3 words into an array. I made it a global array. So that's what they say we must do, store 3 words from the edit box, the edit boxes. 3 words, then I'll store in the words in AR words, so that'll be quite easy. And we are going to say ARR words, box number 1, will be equal to the edit box, edt word 1, edt word 1 dot text, and then AR words box number 2 will be equal to edt word 2 dot text, and then AR words box number 3 will be equal to edt word 3 dot text. So that's storing it into the array. Fine. Now call the procedure palindrome, which will determine whether each word is a palindrome or not. Well, the only way it's going to determine whether it's a palindrome or not is, if it displays it in the rich edit. So, yeah. But if we're going to call the procedure palindrome, we have to have a string. Now we're not going to put the array box number 1 in there. I'm going to use variables s1, s2, s3. Well, I suppose we could just put the array words box number 1 in each one. Okay, fine. Palindrome. Palindrome. We're going to call the procedure palindrome. That's how you call a procedure. And inside there, we've got to put a string. So box number 1 is going to be put in palindrome, and determine whether each word is a palindrome or not. So we're going to palindrome 1, and then we palindrome 2 and palindrome 3. 3. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to call the procedure award points. Well, we can't award points if the numbers are not if the words are not palindrome, so the procedures did not actually call for us to return a value. edt word 1 dot text, this doesn't exist. Please. ed, oh, it's ed. Right, ed, there we go. Spelling error. Right, let's go and use the words in our page. Repaper, here, and madam. Repaper, here, and madam. So I click on that, nothing's, okay, we've called that, it's fine. But now, how do we know to use one of those words? Well, guess what? We're going to have to use, there's no way of actually figuring that one out. So a function is really required over here where you can actually return a result and say, okay, this word's a palindrome or not, but just displaying it in the rich edit does not constitute, how can I go and award points now? I mean, I can go and say, okay, let's award points for any numbers that I want, any words that I want. Okay, award points, fine. Award points. And we're going to go and put in each word, and seriously, fine, award points. Let's call it 3 times. For the 3 words, even though they're they might not be palindromes. But it says here, we can't really tell whether the word is a palindrome or not in code. So we display the number of palindrome words, display the total points earned. So we have to call the award points procedure, and displaying the number of palindrome words, and display the total points, and display whether the learner is awarded a prize. Well, I have to say there's something missing, or I have misread. So what I'm going to do is open the memo files for this and see where they actually got that, and see what I did wrong, if anything. But you see, this is the thing, guys, you must always assume that you could be wrong, not always right. And and it's okay to be wrong, because that's how you learn. Right, so see, they've got your B flag, but there's no B flag anywhere. And okay, they have a B. Oh, they have a B flag there. All right. So what is going on here? The word palindrome, they basically went through each character, okay, and they've got a word here, and they did the same thing, and they built a new word, okay, and if S word is that, then they say B flag equals true. Okay, fine. So if B flag is like a global variable here, and then going through each one of these, if B flag equals true, okay, so they did the palindrome and then showed whether the flag is true or not. Okay, I get the idea. Right, so there's a way to do it. There would be a better way is to use a function, you know, true or false. But that's fine. So what they did instead, used a loop over here, and then did a palindrome. In the palindrome, in the palindrome function, they set a B flag to, they set this B flag story going down. Right, B flag equals true. But the B flag is a global variable, and then when they call palindrome, okay, for K, you said it use, when you actually call the palindrome procedure, okay, for K equals 1 to 3, going through each box of the array, okay, begin and end, yeah, if B flag equals true, if B flag equals true, so we're going to set B flag to false, and then if B flag is true, then we will award points. Box number K, it's just a different way of doing it. Okay, right, B flag, Boolean data type. Inside the palindrome function, we set our B flag to true, and each time we call palindrome, not function, procedure, each time we call the palindrome procedure, we'll set our B flag to whatever it is, but we'll set it to false beforehand, and if B flag is true, then we'll only call the procedure to award points. So that will work. Now that means that the palindrome will display, I mean, what is it? When do we call the, okay, we just had a palindrome function and award points. Okay, so palindrome will display the word and set a Boolean variable which is global to true, and then over here, each time palindrome is going through this loop here, each time palindrome is being called, we check to see if B flag has changed to true, and then we call reward points. So that makes sense. Now we have to go and display the number of palindrome words. Oh my word. Okay, we have to have a counter for palindrome words over here. So okay, fine, begin and end. Each time B flag is true, will increment a counter, and then of course our count must be 0 over here, and our count is going to be a local variable. So after this has happened, we're going to display already display lines dot add number of palindromes and then the other thing that we will do, display the total points and whether they were awarded a prize or not. And I'm going to basically copy and paste, because seriously people, we haven't got time for this. Number of points into string r total points, and then if r total points, if r total points is greater than or equal to 20, then we will display you won a prize, winner, or something to that effect. Now I don't even know if this is going to work, so we're going to go and check it, then we have to fix it, and that's what we do as programmers. We make mistakes and we fix them. Yeah. Right. You're another one. Identify already display. I'm crying out loud. Oh, still. I spelled this wrong because I'm in a hurry. So all that copying and pasting didn't really pay off. No point copying and pasting a line that's not spelled correctly. So we have, what was the words again? Paper, and here, and madam, and two. Okay, let's go and put another word in here. Oxo, I can't think of any other one right now. Okay, is a winner. Right, it seems good enough for me, but the whole point of this exercise was for you to learn how to use procedures. There's a procedure being used, there's a procedure being used, okay? You just write the word procedure, but then you must make sure if it has parameters that you put the right data type variable or something in parameters that matches the variable, the data type of the parameter of the actual procedure. Okay, that's it. So try this by yourself.